Unsolicited weight loss advice from Ellen Roberts is what I'm talking about today. And of course, happy Weigh-In Wednesday. I'll be weighing in. I can't wait to share that with you guys. But first, back to Ellen. The day after a Weigh-In Wednesday video and before I left for vacation, I was scrolling through the feed and saw my own thumbnail with red lettering all over it. And I thought, oh my God, a troll got me. Like, do I want to even look at this? When I saw it was Ellen Roberts, I thought, oh, well, I have been watching his videos. I like a lot of the things that he says. He might be a little harsh for some people to parse, but he's honest. And, you know, sometimes you just need a reality check to help you get back on track. So I watched that video. I want to go back and rewatch it and see what he actually is saying. You guys can see my reaction. I also have a weigh-in, timestamps down below in case you want to skip around. Let's do this. And while you're down there, if you're skipping around, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
So this is Life by Liz Reaches. And I thought we would just go through her content.
As Liz Reaches.
She has a weigh-in Wednesday also, which I found, you know, a little crazy.
It's not crazy.
Old Crow. GM. I don't know what GM means, Old Crow.
Dakota, GM means good morning.
Nutritionist Lynn Sue. I believe Sweet Pickles make me happy. I believe you're the one that did the April Lauren's exact diet and exercise stuff for a week. You have a comment posted on one of my videos. I think I pinned.
So I think what Sweet Pickles' comment was that I'm assuming it's a girl, Sweet Pickles did April Lauren's workout routine and ate like the way April Lauren says she eats, and Sweet Pickles was able to lose weight and April Lauren is not losing weight. He's really, I mean, I'm not going to get into that whole debate. That will be too long of a video.
Join our app. You can get our book, Fuck Being Fat, Stop Your Weight Problems, Throw Off My Willpower.
I did purchase the book. I'm still reading it, and the app looks really good.
Life as Liz Reaches, 150-pound weight loss journey, budget and debt payoff, and occasional vlog. So the thing that I do like about this is, because I will say again, I preface this, I really do not like when people make the entirety of their channel all about weight loss. I think that that's very bad. It's very negative because it can end up being a very a way for them to just make money off even the negative aspects of weight loss when they regain or stuff like that or stumble or whatever. So she's got a few weigh-in.
People like to see when others fail, and so if you're failing, that's what people are going to come to your channel to see. And I mean, I've been fortunate. Everybody watching so far has been cheering me on. The only time I've had a negative comment is last fall when I posted a shorts just messing around in my kitchen, and somebody was like, oh, you're just too fat, so just don't eat. Okay. So other than that, I really haven't had negativity, and so it's really been a positive community, which I love. I'm grateful for.
Here's 6 months ago. So let's go to the 6 months ago one, shall we?
Oh my God. Lately, so weird to watch yourself.
And I do want everybody to know, I did watch a couple of our other videos, and I did watch the ads. So I'm just not going to subject you guys.
No, you didn't, because I'm not monetized.
Journey to lose up to 150 pounds, and I'm also on a journey to lose $150,000 in debt.
That's good for her.
Today's video is a belated weigh-in.
I'm going to say this though, Liz, if you do watch this, your background music is a little loud.
I know.
Wednesday video, and actually it's extremely belated because my last
you may have noticed that I have cut back on a lot of the sound in my videos because I've gotten that comment a lot.
My goal is 30 minutes of activity every single day.
That's a solid goal. It's a solid goal because it's a good habit to get into. Like you want to focus on getting into the habit of being active for at least 30 minutes a day every single day. Excuse me, at least 30 minutes a day every single day, so you can. Then if you want to increase the intensity of that, you absolutely can. But if the idea is then you don't skip it, you know?
So I did back my step goal down to 8,000 steps a day, just to have a goal that was way more achievable so that I could feel some success.
I love that. The thing is, people try to be just perfectly successful the entire time. They try to make sure that they do it all, and they try to make sure that they it's just 100%, they're balls to the wall, and that type of intensity is hard to keep up and hard to maintain. You know, it just is. Like, I think that's why her taking the stance of I'm going to set these this is the reality of like actual shit. Like, she's trying to set attainable goals that she can put some W's in the column for and be realistic, right? Instead of like setting these huge lofty goals and producing small results. If there's gonna be small results, at least make sure there's smaller goals, right?
Press play.
And see that I was achieving. Really comes down to the psychology of it.
Right.
So that was the
Now
week
in the
of
head,
November 14th
Alan.
through the 20th, and I would say it was a pretty okay week, but then it did start to go a little south. I forget when exactly we had the time change, but man, that hit me really hard like last year or two, and definitely this year.
I am super happy that they're not doing the time change anymore, because to be honest, that was fucking up so many people.
No, in Pennsylvania we do.
To lose weight mostly. When all of a sudden, like, everything's shifted an hour, even that little bit fucks people up. It just fucks people
Majorly.
up. And that's not fucking good. That's just not good at all.
After me.
So when it comes to the protein pastas and stuff like that, I'm not against those sorts of things either. I'm not saying I don't occasionally do a gluten-free pasta. Very rare.
Yeah. It's not a regular thing that we eat in my house, but we do keep some on hand because it's quick and easy.
Beans and the occasion, like,
and you get protein.
Every other night or so, some protein powder mixed into a pudding. So, or like I'll use the protein powder, mix it into like with whipping cream, and then put it in the freezer, make it into an ice cream or something like that. Just something
that's a good thing.
that is, even though it's a little processed, it's not an ultra processed carbohydrate. It has protein and fat in it that appeases me. You know. So,
I'm gonna try that.
I wanted to get to this because this is something they all
Here's
do.
some ramblings from that. The goal is to do 10 minutes of elliptical every single day. So it should help me hitting some of my goals.
I love that. Just even if you have an elliptical in your house, just get 10 minutes here and there. Like,
yeah.
Set your watch to just do 10 minutes. 10
and
minutes,
a bike.
You know.
Recumbent bike, elliptical, and a ton of equipment.
Do it all the time. That's the thing. Like people like think like here's my elliptical. I'm gonna do an hour in the day. I'm gonna set up my TV in front of it and just get 10 minutes. 10 minutes is more than what you were doing. And then when 10 minutes becomes easy, you might even find yourself staying on it longer. You gotta like it. Like, people set themselves up to punish themselves. Like, so far, I'm very much liking how she's setting this up to be something that she can fit into her schedule.
We actually did set that up. We have TVs on every level of our house and in front of our equipment.
Pretty much her latest one. This was 11 hours ago. Okay. So let's see where she's at. And by the way,
this was
and just
from
in case
the end of June.
Agreeing or now, real quick, I want you guys all to go subscribe to her channel.
Yes, please go subscribe.
It looks like she's sleeping with the weights. Hilarious. She's not working out.
He's a cat man. I don't know where my cat is. My dog's on the floor here, waiting for it.
Weight Loss Journey weekly weigh-in Wednesday. The weigh-in Wednesday thing, kind of funny. I don't know if it rhymes or if it was a riff on whatever, but
it's called alliteration. I know he keeps talking about his product, No Morbidity or whatever it's called, but I'm considering it, but I'm really not sure since I am also trying to conceive. So,
in case I haven't done it already.
I don't think he actually subscribed to my channel. It didn't show me that he subscribed. Whatever. I don't care.
We do this here, everybody.
He did put it in the chat though, and I appreciate that. And I did get a lot of new.
Whether I agree with her or not agree with her, I am using her content. I think
I'm gonna pause that for a second. I did get a lot of subscribers, so he didn't subscribe, whatever. But thank you for everybody else that came from his channel, and just thanks for mentioning that to people. I do appreciate that part.
When I do these things, even when I do the shit on the liar, April Lauren, because she's a liar. Like, holy shit, a liar. I want people to go encourage her too. Like, don't go hate on her. Like, she obviously hates herself enough and hates her audience enough that she's willing to lie to them every single fucking week, in my opinion.
He means April Lauren, not me.
Orion's a cute puppy.
Obviously.
Very cool birthday.
Go to the search.
Coming up soon.
She looks like she's lost some weight in the last 6 months.
Thank you.
Good for her. I'm looking forward to seeing what this weigh-in is.
No weight, but inches.
Say this. She does seem to be setting herself up for very attainable
I'm trying.
goals. Just realize that you're not going to just all of a sudden poof. Make sure that it just falls off. It's just not realistic. You know?
Agreed. Oh, Ryan's little tail.
Now, this is something I suggest to her and everybody that does weight loss as content. Don't show yourself working out. Like, this is something that bothers me because he
doesn't like people showing themselves working out. He doesn't like to show himself working out, and you could go watch the whole video. I'll link it down below. But I do feel that having a weight loss channel, it is important to show yourself working out, because I know that there's a lot of hate for weight loss channels where people don't seem to be losing what they should be losing, and they don't show either working out or their weigh-in. Like, he really calls out April Lauren, and I do watch her channel. I've watched it since pretty much the beginning of her channel. And at one point I was like, oh, she like stopped showing a lot of her food stuff on the regular basis. And then she wasn't losing as much weight. And then it became more of a fitness channel than a weight loss channel. And I'm like, oh, so there was a pivot here. And that's what he's saying that she's a liar about, but whatever. This isn't about her. This is about me. And I feel like it is important to show, maybe I won't show as many clips. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. Should I show myself working out, maybe smaller clips or not at all? What do you think? I do show the screenshots from my Fitbit, showing that I'm getting steps in, show my activity minutes, and I do show, he comments on this later, like, I don't show myself standing on the scale or my feet on the scale, but my scale loads to my phone and I share those screenshots and they're dated, right? So like, I don't know, let me know your thoughts on that down below. It has been the biggest struggle of really my whole entire life. And
that is the struggle that most people have. Well, the one thing I can say is thank you for being honest. No shit. That's a fucking breath of fucking fresh air. It is amazing.
Honesty is the only policy.
You can still manage to have that in portion. Like how we coach is that like once a week or so you have that in or if you want to do it twice a week, you do it within realm of reason. What I worry about is a lot of people tend to then over restrict the next day, and it causes like this seesaw. And I just think
that's exactly what happens to me.
I think
if I indulge one day, the next day it's like I either try to fast and eat nothing or just have very little, which causes me to be super hungry, and it's a terrible cycle.
I think that might be the issue, but like it sounds to me like she is living her life.
Yes.
And trying to lose weight at the same time, and that's good. Okay, I mean, It may not be the fastest way, and I do think that depending on where she's at weight-wise right now, she might want to take it a little bit more seriously, but that is good. Pizza, beer, stuff like that. It sounds like these are outings.
Yes.
You know, like with family and friends, summer stuff.
Yeah, not even day by day, but meal by meal to make those better choices. Not putting pressure on myself or, getting upset with myself or being mean to myself if I do go out and enjoy wings and a beer with my husband or whatever. Wings
and a beer. If you get 6 wings and 1 beer, depending on what you ate the rest of the day, that's not terrible. The thing is, like, if you could pick one a week, you know, like just especially because it's a date with your husband, I applaud you. That's what people tend not to do, and it fucks with their life. Like people tend to be like, no, we can't go out at all, and we can't live a life. I'm losing weight right now. But what the fuck are you gonna do when the weight's gone?
That's right.
Are you not gonna still live a life? Because the way what you do now, how you do this now, is what's gonna be how you live your life when the weight's gone too.
Yeah. That's exactly right. And like my husband and I like to go out we used to go out like 6 days a week. Cutting that back. Now we go out once a week, twice maybe, usually like Friday or Saturday night. This week we ended up going out, I think it was Tuesday night. He got home from work early. It doesn't matter. Whatever day I weighed in, that's the night that we went out. We said, well, if we went out on Tuesday night, then we're not going to go out this weekend on Friday night because we don't need that food and we don't need to be spending the money. So it's kind of a twofer for us right now.
I applaud her effort in that she's fitting life into this. I do say this, Kathy, not Kathy, but I do say this, Liz. I think you should stop and, look at your food before you eat it. Like, think about it. Be mindful with your decisions, okay? If you go out, even out to dinner, be mindful knowing this is just some wings and a beer. This is for enjoyment for my husband and I. Don't stress about it. I would have your next day's meal planned out, like to make sure that it's very satiating first thing in the morning. That way you can possibly avoid any cravings from the day before, because it seems like you do have a poor relationship with food. Anybody that has been 300 pounds does have a poor relationship with food. So just try to plan for the next day. Have the night out, but then plan for the next day to make sure that the next day is not necessarily super low. It should be on the low end of your calorie range, and you should give yourself a range of calories, not an absolute line. But it should be at the low end of your calorie range, but also it should be the most satiating food you normally eat. And you should already have those planned out, procured, know where you're going to get them. That way you avoid making the second day mistake of like, well, I feel like shit from yesterday and I already ate like shit, so I'll just eat like shit again today.
Such a great point. Honestly, hearing that just made me so happy that he picked my video. There's so many thousands of people to give unsolicited weight loss advice to, and hearing that really resonated with me. And I remember that from the first time I watched the video, and so I know that I'm not going to weigh well, he didn't say this, but this all led to, I'm not going to weigh myself the day after we go out to eat because I know that I'm going to eat something salty and whatever. I'm going to retain fluid and my number on the scale will go up, and that will not be, something I want to see. So weigh-ins don't happen now the day after I go out to eat. Also, still going out and enjoying myself. Yes, we went out on Tuesday. We went, we had some bacon cheddar ranch fries. We actually didn't even eat the whole thing, so that was like an accomplishment for us. And then we had a tray of pizza, and I had a slice and a half. My husband came home early from work that day, and we said we were going out to eat, so I didn't have anything else because I knew where we were going, and I wanted to save up the calories and everything for that, so I wasn't overindulging. Then I planned to have eggs for breakfast along with my protein and my coffee, and a yogurt, making sure I had all my vitamins all planned out and ready to go. And then also I had my salad stuff for lunch. So that advice really has made a difference in only like the week or so that I've been taking this advice, since I've gotten this advice. So yeah, that just really resonated with me. Makes so much sense.
4th of July weekend. It's normally a barbecue weekend. Eat all the barbecue.
And I talked about 4th of July in last week's video. So if you want to know about that and how it went, go check out that video after you're done watching this video.
I said before that I wasn't going to pressure myself to log in MyFitnessPal because I know that I'm not very consistent with it. But
if you're not consistent with MyFitnessPal, don't do that, motherfucker. Okay? That becomes a crutch to people. Then it's a way to feel defeated every fucking day. Right? I do suggest, though, if you are using MyFitnessPal even right now, to try to guess the amount of calories and protein and stuff like that before you put it into the tracker, and then put it into the tracker, and then see how close you are. Because if you're decently close, that's all you need to get. You already know the information. You can just keep mental track. That's way more important than it is the actual tracking. That is just a tool to use to educate yourself, to make sure that you know the information. Once you know the information, it becomes frivolous. Like that's an exercise we do for our clients also. We have people keep guessing at the amount that they put into MyFitnessPal until they realize that they don't even need MyFitnessPal.
Such a great reminder, and I already kind of knew that, which is why I stopped using it, because one, it's not accurate, two, I should already know portion sizes, all that. Clearly, I just have gotten away from all that, so I have gone back into MyFitnessPal and have been trying my best to log what I can. I am not focused on breaking it down by meal because it drives me crazy. I'm just getting it in there. I have my coffee that I take with collagen and a little bit of heavy whipping cream. I have not logged for a couple days. I logged on the 10th. That was a decent day, kind of low on calories. On the 9th, I think I logged. Yep, I did. I went way overboard. I went out to Arby's and I ended up at a total of 1,821 calories. We'll get to that in a second. So that's why on the 10th, I had fewer calories. Plus, I just was so bloated. I didn't feel hungry. Anyway, so I have been trying to keep up and being completely honest. Here I went out and I got Sheets, which is like a gas station here that has a deli. I had candy. I know that's not good food. You don't have to tell me in the comments. But I'm being honest and I logged it. So I saw that I was already at 1921 for the day with my calories and made sure I did not go over 2,000. And that's what happened that day. So I am trying to keep up with it here.
I think I need to make some kind of effort to do some kind of logging, just to try to help myself stay on track a little bit better. If I
Take pictures and send them to your husband. Take pictures and send them to yourself. Take pictures and send them to somebody else. We have our clients all send us pictures of everything they eat, especially when they first start out, because then they're stopping and thinking about the food and they're taking a picture of it. It's immortalized. So now they send it to the chat that we have with just them, myself, Crystal, and just the client. And then that way we get to see portion size. We get to see the quality of the food. We get to see those sorts of things. So the idea is that you are stopping and thinking about this beforehand, and you know, people know what they're like. If it's like 3 pieces of cake and you're taking a picture of it, you know.
I love that piece of advice, and it's kind of crazy because, you know, you take a picture, you put it on the Instagram, but I love the idea of maybe sending it to my husband or somebody else. I did purchase his book with 1 month free to the app, so I guess I could post it in there. I see a lot of people doing that actually in the app. I think that is wonderful. I mean, it completely makes sense. You stop, you think about it. So like you said, if you're grabbing 3 pieces of cake, when you go to take a picture of it, it makes you be mindful when you take that picture. So I'm going to try to do that.
Even on days when I'm going for those walks, especially now in the summertime, it's really easy for me to sit at my computer and dive deep into my side hustles. And before I know it, hours have gone by and I was sitting at my desk the whole time.
Speaking my language, sister. Jesus, I know that feeling very, very, very much. A lot of people, like, and I talk about this all the time. A lot of people think that I'm just like working out all the fucking day long.
Right.
Like, I had something like the TikTok people are fucking weird. I had somebody send me a message. It's easy for you. All you got to do is work out all day long. Motherfuckers. Like,
they don't get it.
Like when I work out very, very intensely. But for the rest of the day, I'm reading and fucking talking to clients. I'm in this goddamn chair. Like it's just what it is. I'm talking to you guys, doing this.
Yeah.
When you run multiple, it sounds like she's got a bunch of side hustles going on to try to reduce debt, and I applaud her.
Thank you.
But reality is like you may need to prioritize a block of time, no matter what, that you actually get your activity in, because the steps in a day is okay, but I did like the idea of you being on the elliptical, just not necessarily like fucking
showing it.
Showing the elliptical. Anyway.
Right. Got it.
To, I don't know, maybe set a timer on my phone so I get up and move, set my Fitbit to buzz.
Set a timer on your phone. Set a timer up on your phone. Absolutely.
It just actually buzzed. I did that. It just buzzed.
I can't even really go for Liz. You obviously lead an extremely sedentary life. I'm going to argue that
I do.
The reason that food is such a, like the food choices are so much more amplified when they're poor for you is because of how sedentary you are. So I do suggest, no matter what, and while you cannot outwork a bad diet, I do suggest you set in at least 30 minutes a day dedicated. Like, consider that a side hustle. You know what I mean? Like, it sounds to me like you allot a lot of time for your side hustles.
I do.
You need to consider this a side hustle. And it sounds to me like you're very monetary driven. Here's what I want people to understand. The less you weigh, the less food you need to sustain yourself. That saves you money to begin with. We were talking a little earlier with people. Consider it a side hustle because it's also how much money you're going to save on future healthcare bills and stuff like that. And that's just a reality.
Noted.
And future pain and everything like that. So consider it that way too. So that way, if you consider your actual activity a side hustle to save you money in the long run, like a money-saving side hustle, for somebody like you, that might work out well. And a part of this is to find what works for every individual client, every individual person. And while you're not my client, I'm using your video and you're being very open and honest about what you do, which you should be very proud of yourself. I'm using your video as a way to
honesty
apply
is the best
our coaching
policy.
methodology to it. So I would have you try to approach the mindset of you make time for these side hustles, make a certain amount of time for your activity as a side hustle.
No doubt that's what happens when you're eating pizza, wings, onion rings, beer, and so no doubt that was poor choice of eating. And then just to show you over the last week, this is my weight. So it was up to 298.4, and then it's come back down. It creeped up a little bit. So
okay, so here's one issue I have with weekly weigh-in shit. Okay, especially for women, weekly weigh-ins are not. Weekly weigh-ins are not suggested for women because you have different hormonal responses throughout the course of the month. You have ovulation, menstruation. I don't know if this woman still has it or not, or whatever. But I can't say
that's another video for another time.
That is not from occasional beer drinking and occasional stuff like that. That is systemically eating about 2,700 to 3,500 calories a day, probably 3,000 to 3,800 calories a day, every day.
Okay, so this part I remember, and this is where it comes in about the calories and why I noted earlier I stopped at 2,000 the other day. This is where I got this from.
Okay, at some point in time, like in order to lose 150 pounds, you're going to need to increase the activity a little bit more, Liz, and you are going to need to lower your caloric intake by about 2/3, or about 1/3. Excuse me, 1/3. Two-thirds by 1/3. If you can become much more active and eat about anywhere between 1,600 to 2,000 calories on any given day, and be a little bit more active, you'll get to your weight. And I think that should be the thing. I do think that she has spent some time in the last 6 months, if we were to go through her content just by the verbiage she's using, trying to get a hold of her eating behaviors. She obviously has very serious issues when it comes to indulgences and stuff like that. I get that, but right now this isn't really a weight loss journey. And this is not, again, everybody should go encourage her. Everybody should try to do their very best to make sure she feels encouraged. That's what I want. She is being honest. That should be rewarded in these channels, these weight loss channels. That should be rewarded, very much so. In that honesty, the honesty does require change then too, and I appreciate that's what happens when you drink beer and eat wings. Not all the time. It depends on what you do in between those times too. So basically, to maintain your weight, even you're eating, 20, like I said, 2,600 to fucking 3,600 calories.
Maybe.
Probably. And you need to reduce that down to 1,600 to 2,000 calories, consistently. As an average. Like if you go out for wings and beer, that needs to be the 2,000 calorie day of the week. and then the rest of the week floats around like the 1,700 calorie range with the minimal day of 1,600 calories as the basement. You want to set a basement because you don't want to over-restrict to make up for the 2,000 calorie day. Like oftentimes people are like, well, I'll just eat 700 calories the next day, and then they get themselves super hungry, and then they binge the next day. She obviously has issues with food. So I really think that the outlook needs to take a little step, forward. Whereas the adjustment, maybe make make an adjustment now of a 500 calorie slide right now. Like shoot for if you can adjust down from the obvious 2,600 to 3,600 calories that you're taking in now. If you can make it so you're taking in 2,000 calories to 2,600 calories, that right there will, plus some activity level, that right there will have you lose some weight. And then you make another adjustment when you get to portion sizes, everything like that. I do think that this woman would benefit greatly from no morbidity, because it sounds to me like hunger is the issue. It's like she just consistently keeps eating food at a higher rate than even what she thinks, I think. So
okay, so I really appreciate what he's saying here. First of all, he's the first person ever to say eat a range of 1,600 to 2,000 calories. And let me tell you, I have worked with so many people over the years. I remember a health class talking to my health teacher who said 1,200 calories. Okay, that was back in like high school. I joined a gym probably around, I'm going to say, well, it had to be before I was 24 because I met my husband when I was 24. So somewhere between 19 and 23 years old at a gym, I was working with one trainer. She said 1,200 calories max per day. That was difficult. Then I went to a nutritionist. They said between 1,200 and 1,400 calories per day. That didn't work. Let me think. I worked with a nutritionist at a hospital. I worked with a nutritionist at a holistic chiropractic practice. The hospital told me, well, you don't have diabetes, but we'll treat you like diabetes and we'll give you a diabetic diet, 1,500 calories or something like 12 to 1,500 calories. The nutritionist at the chiropractor told me something like 1,400 calories. Okay. I worked with a trainer at the gym and that he told me 1,500 calories max after I moved, and somebody else when I lived back at home. But basically, everybody would give me a range between 1,200 and 1,500 calories, and that's it. And then they would say, just go do it. Here, do this, do it. And then I was like, oh, what am I going to eat? So trying to figure out how to choose what foods fit into this range, and it was a lot. And so as I get back into this journey, I'm still in that place of it's a lot for me it's just not in my wheelhouse to pick out this makes a meal and it fits in with your calories. And I feel like I'm a pretty smart person. I can do it, but it takes me a lot of time and it drives me freaking bonkers. And then I just give up on it because it's too much. He is the first person that ever gave a range between 1,600 and 2,000 calories. And honestly, since I've watched this video I think it was about 2 weeks ago, and I started following that and saying okay, well, I hit I think it was 1,921 calories the one day, and the next day I had fewer calories. And it was I didn't have to completely restrict myself to only eating a yogurt and a protein bar, I could actually eat food and still hit that calorie range without feeling so restrictive. So when he said that, I thought I need to look into his coaching program. So I did buy his book. I'm still reading through it. I'm on the app. I'm probably going to keep the app. It's $10 a month, which I think is very affordable because I did pay for MyFitnessPal, and that was $120 for the whole year. So it's the same price. MyFitnessPal, it only allows me to record. His app offers so much more. So I really like that. It's more of a community. There's workouts in there, which I haven't tried yet. So I'm going to stick with his app. I'm considering the coaching. It just doesn't fit my budget. And so I'm trying to figure out how to make it fit my budget. So yeah, hearing to keep it between 1,600 and 2,000, hearing him say to keep it between 1,600 and 2,000 calories, whew, it makes me a little emotional right now. Because hearing that, it does make me feel a little bit emotional right now because one, I wish I would have heard this 20 years ago. Yeah, I wish I would have heard his advice 20 years ago. And also, I think back around December back last fall when I was referred to the fertility specialist, I knew the weight, it has to come off. I have done everything that's in my control. I'm going to the specialist. I'm getting multiple opinions. I'm doing the vitamins. I'm getting this sleep I'm getting the sleep. I'm doing the body temperature, the basal body temperature every morning to confirm and track ovulation. I'm testing for the LH hormone that predicts when you're going to infertility it's a lot. I feel like I'm doing everything in my control. And the last thing that is in my control is losing the weight. I don't know what's going to happen at my next appointment with the new fertility doctor. If they're going to say anything different, they're going to do any medication. If they're going to be able to find a root cause and be able to treat the root cause. There's so many unknowns, so much out of my control. But what is in my control is everything that I've been doing, and getting this weight off, I feel like, is the last key to that. I'm not crying about what he's... So the weight loss is not just about increasing my fertility to be able to have a baby and try. It is about my overall health, to live the longest life possible, be around the longest, and feel good and have a great life where I'm not tired and run down or get aches and pains or other health problems as I age. But definitely the fertility is a big part of it too. So hearing the range of 1,600 to 2,000 calories, it does take some pressure off the food part. I'm still going to look to work with somebody on the nutrition side, just to help me along here, make sure I'm doing everything right, getting the nutrients I'm supposed to get, and all of that. But it does relieve a lot of pressure that I don't have to stick to 1,200 to 1,400, 1,500 calories. That it makes me feel like I can eat real food and not have to just have bland, boring boiled chicken or a can of tuna with no mayonnaise. It really has relieved a lot of stress for me, and stress is not good for the body, especially trying to conceive. So that really, it has a big impact. And I'm really, I don't know how he found my video. It's such a small channel, but I'm really grateful that he found it and has given me this advice. So I think this is the end. Let's just see.
In drinking my water so that I can flush all the extras out of my system. That's my weight. I'm not really hung up on it so much that it's fluctuated. It hasn't really gone down, but we'll work towards that. And
that's a good attitude to have. It really is. But I do think that since you've been stuck for about 6 months, you do need to make some sort of systemic change. And systemic change comes from, let's take a 500 calorie block shift. That 500 calories will have you lose over the course of a year 50 pounds. If not, you'll get you at least started in the right direction. And then you can add activity onto it too, because your activity level is very, very low. Again, one more time, I do, Liz, suggest to you that you view, since you are heavily looking at these side hustles, you view weight loss as the monetary reward that it actually is. You save on future healthcare costs. You save on future healthcare pain, missed time of work for being sick because you are healthier. You save on the food. Again, like a good investment is no morbidity. We'll be back in stock soon. But I'm going to do a few things of Q&A, and then we're going to get out of here.
Yeah. So like I said, yes, I have been stuck because the fertility, he watched a video at the beginning that was before my testing. It was either before my appointment or right after I got my testing, before I got the results about that back in the fall. So yeah, I can blame it on the fertility, but that's only for the last 6 months, and the last 16 years was not fertility. So I really can't blame it on that. But that's where I am present day. I wish I'd had his advice 20 years ago. But I'm going to take it now and use it. So let me just see if he has anything else to say.
I'm happy you realized it. So I thought she was April Lauren. She's using a lot of her lingo. She is using a lot of April's lingo, but she's being honest at least. What's the math on how long it will take?
Yeah, April Lauren is another video for another time. It was a long one today. Let's just make it a little bit longer and check out some statistics here. Okay, here is the content you're probably looking for. So my steps I hit over the last week, I came back from vacation and I hit it 3 days in a row. That took so much effort. And I know there's some people out there that are getting well over 10,000 steps per day. And I applaud you. And I think that's amazing. Oh wait, I guess I could take this off my head since we're not watching a video. For me, my goal is 8,000 steps. If you want to know why, go back and check some other videos. Literally 2 of those nights, it was like 11 o'clock at night and I hadn't hit my goal. I literally got out of bed and was marching in place, stepping around my bedroom, getting those steps in because it's that important to me. So on Monday, I was exhausted. My legs were sore, my hips were sore, my lower back, my abdomen. I'm so sore. So I said, all right, today's going to be looked at like a recovery day. I still got some steps in. I believe I got my active minutes. No, wait, did I get my active minutes in that day? I did not. But I do believe I got a lot of steps. I was doing stuff around my house. And so that's what that is. Tuesday, my husband got home from work early, so I spent time with him. And that was really important, not just focusing on one thing and that's it. So like I said, this is about living and losing weight, not just losing weight. So there's my steps, my active minutes. I earned 4 days so far, 4 days in a row. Then Monday and Tuesday, I did take a break. I slowed down and you can see that I didn't get any active minutes those days. On Tuesday, I worked all day. Actually, I was only supposed to work 2.5 hours. Then surprise, they told me, oh, you're on this committee. Well, we're going to meet in the afternoon. So I worked all day on Tuesday for my full-time job. And then when I got home from that, we were having thunderstorms, so I couldn't get out for a walk. And okay, this will be a good time to just do some side hustle stuff. Probably the reason why you clicked on this video is to find out what the hell is her weight this week. So last week I weighed in after vacation at 297.4. I basically stayed the same from my pre-vacation weight. Even though I went away, I ate a lot of the things. So my weight stayed about the same. And today, so happy to say, I weighed in at 295.4, and that is a loss of 2 pounds. I am really happy with that because I really pushed myself to get my steps in and the activity in. I tracked what I was eating to make sure I wasn't going over the 2,000 mark, and it definitely paid off with 2 pounds. All right, I need to get myself moving here. Gotta get my dog out. You know, I can't say the word because she'll get too excited. I hope you guys are staying hydrated. I finished my morning coffee. I'm going to go down, get some water, get some steps, and get on with my day. I will see you later. Bye.